Hey, do you like this sweater? Do you want to see me try it on? Oops. There we go. I found this sweater at a thrift store. You might have seen it momentarily in one of the other videos that I posted recently. Don't mind me, the dog was looking at me and then I realized how much I hated this sweater and the way that it felt against my skin. So now that I know that you like this sweater, I'm gonna show you how to tear it apart. Somewhere on the internet many years ago, and I'm talking like early 2000s, I saw some sort of blog that was talking about how to take sweaters from thrift stores and upcycle the yarn, essentially, and then it just kind of showed you how to go about finding the seams in a sweater and what to look for, and how to go about frogging it. If you don't know what frogging is what those of us in the fiber crafting world call it when we have to rip apart our sweaters and scarves and blankets, anything that's crochet or knit, really. The running joke, you're frogging it because you have to rip it, and I hate the actual joke, but I love calling it frogging. And this voiceover has already gone completely AWOL from what I was brainstorming. Basically, you can see in the beginning here that it's kind of slow to start. You have to remove all of the tags, and then you have to go around the seams and find the ends. And then you have to just slowly pick it apart. But eventually, you can get your sleeves detached, your collars, any pockets if your sweater happens to have one. And eventually, you'll get the whole thing done. Takes a little bit of practice, takes a lot of time. I highly recommend having Netflix or YouTube or something on so that you can watch something while you're doing it. There's no real purpose to upcycling sweaters from the thrift store. I guess it just kind of depends on your views of the world. Sometimes you can find sweaters in really unique colors in a thrift store that you can't necessarily find for purchase in a craft store. So that's kind of cool. Or if you've got a really tight budget, the really fancy, super soft, like Angora yarns that are way more expensive in the store is just gonna be the cost of a thrift store sweater. If you want to go that route, I've actually done that before. I found a really nice Angora sweater and it was like $4 or $5 in the thrift store. The amount of yarn that I got out of it probably would have been like $10 or $15 from a craft store at least. So it's just kind of one of those things. You're either really into it or you're not. If you're crafting on a budget, it's a great way to go. If you also just believe in reducing waste in the world, this is another really great way to go about trying to reduce and reuse in the world. Fast fashion is a thing that gets talked about a lot. I'm not a huge fan of fast fashion. There's a lot of clothing out there in the stores these days it'll just fall apart in like a year, and that really bothers me. So it's kind of another reason why I tend to grab sweaters from the thrift store so that I can upcycle them. I like the idea that I can take something that somebody else doesn't necessarily want anymore and turn it into something new. Not to mention, a lot of thrift stores go to benefiting a lot of really great causes. It all depends on where you're at. Do your research. Find out what your local thrift store is benefiting before you go spend money there. You might not agree with their mission in the world, or you might discover causes that you didn't realize were there before. Because this isn't a tutorial and I just kind of wanted to show you the process in a fun little time lapse so that I could get some practice editing a time lapse, I'm just gonna let some fun music play or something in the background while this processes, because I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just wanted to put this project together for you. So thanks for hanging out. If you made it this far, if you make it to the end, that's really cool. I hope this inspires you to think outside the box when it comes to getting crafting supplies. I guess let me know if you ever want an in-depth tutorial. I can try and put one of those together, but honestly, Google how to upcycle thrift store sweaters, or I guess you could try searching like reclaim yarn from thrift store sweaters. I'm sure you'll find any number of tutorials that would point you in that direction if you absolutely can't wait for me to get around to making a tutorial. But yeah, have fun. Thanks for being here. I accidentally rambled my way through like half of this video, even though I was gonna try really hard not to. Okay, bye. But like, finish watching the video. Thank y'all. This is so dumb. There's a boxer, like a dog, in the other room watching me make this video, and she's giving me this look like, this is the human that was left in charge of me for the weekend? Oh god. How is this gonna work? Ow! I quit!